Hello, Wonderhussy here, out in the middle of nowhere, and this time, I really mean the middle of nowhere. Okay, you can probably see my forerunner is just a tiny speck of white in a sea of sagebrush, little pinyon pines, and a whole lot of nothing in any direction. So why am I out here, you might be wondering? Well, this is the way to a place I like to go every now and then. And that's all I'm gonna say about that, because I was very sternly admonished / threatened not to talk about that place on the internet. Anyway, let's just say there's a place I like to go about 30 miles from here. And so I've gone there many times. But when I'm going there, I'm usually in a hurry to get there. I don't have time to stop and poke around all these interesting little side trails. Okay, there's all kind of little dirt roads leading off in all kinds of directions from the main route. But like I said, normally I'm in such an all-fired hurry to get to where I'm going that I can't or don't want to stop and take all these side roads. Well, guess what? Today's the day. I happen to be sort of in the area, and it's way too hot to go to the place I normally go. But up here at elevation, I think I'm up at around 5,000 feet right now. In fact, you can see there's even some little late spring wildflowers blooming up here. Anyway, up here, it's actually relatively comfortable. I think it's like 79 degrees right here. And so this seemed to me the perfect time to go check out some of these little things that I have pinned on my map. Now, they're not all from my research and my observations as I've driven through here. I also have a point person who lives in Massachusetts who does a lot of online research for me on Google Maps, and he always finds weird little man-made structures in the middle of nowhere and sends me the coordinates, and you know, it's like a Charlie's Angels kind of thing. Wonderhussy, go investigate this coordinate. And so I do. In my trusty steed, which hasn't failed me so far, and hopefully it doesn't this time either. I mean, I'll admit it, I'm a little bit nervous. This road that I'm on is semi-notorious for being a real tire buster, and I have pretty good tires. You know, I got them BF Goodrich all-terrain KO2s. They're 10 ply. They have pretty aggressive tread, but they are getting a little long in the tooth. As a matter of fact, I just noticed that I'm overdue for a rotation, and when I go in to get them rotated, they're probably gonna tell me I need to get a new set. So, with any luck, this will be the last major expedition I do on this set of tires, and hopefully, just hopefully, I make it out alive. Because if I break down out here, boy, I am really screwed. Okay, I mean, if I blow a tire, I guess it's not the end of the world. I do have a full-size spare and all the tools I need to change it, mostly. I'm just hoping that doesn't happen, and I'm hoping I don't have any kinds of other mechanical failures, because there's no cell signal out here, and, well, as I might have mentioned a time or two in the intro, this is a very, very remote part of the country. Ugh, I don't know, man. I'm not sure if I should go any farther on this road. I mean, yeah, my vehicle is certainly capable of crawling up these rocks. But, like I said, I'm a long way from anywhere. And I mean a long way. Well, golly, it doesn't look so bad from down here. I guess I can do it. The thing is, I'm real close to these structures, whatever they are. So it'd be a real easy hike, but I don't know, part of me is stubborn, I guess, and, well, lazy. So in the finest American tradition of off-roaders, I kind of want to drive. Whew, I made it. Apologies for not filming that, but my hands were too tightly gripped on the steering wheel. And it looks like I'm getting close. Seeing little bits and bobs of metal debris, and my map is showing that I really am almost there. Oh, hey, I think I'm here at the first structure I identified. And, well, that is a structure, but that's nothing really to write home about. Nor is this little nub of an old truck cab. Holy cow, I hate to think how they got this thing up here. I guess the road was better back in the day. Oh, look. It was an International. Isn't that beautiful? The colors of the rust and all the different paint jobs over the years. Or, I don't know, maybe that's just me. I'm weird, but I think it's kind of beautiful. And then I also think this windshield, the way it's splintered, look at that. That's kind of beautiful too. And there's probably people watching this that can say exactly how old this truck is. I'm just gonna say it's old. Anyway, besides this old International truck nub, there's also the aforementioned structure on the other side of the road. And then there is, well, I hesitate to call it a cabin, but some kind of building. So this definitely was a lonely little prospector's camp way, way, way up here in the mountains in the middle of nowhere. And I can't imagine very many people bother to come up here and poke around. So there might even be some interesting artifacts left inside. Let's find out. Front does look like it's seen better days. I mean, when I think of all the winter storms that have hit this place over the years, I mean, I just checked my altimeter and we're actually at over 7,000 feet. So yeah, this place has been getting dumped on with snow, rain, hail, blizzards, blasting winds for God knows how many years. It's a wonder it's still standing at all. You know, so I'll forgive a little bit of mess in the front yard. Oh, look, there's like a chicken wire fence. At one time, they actually had a fenced-in front yard. Oh, and there's a bunch of other old junk. Front end of another old truck. Bits and bobs of collapsed buildings and broken dreams. Pieces of old machinery. I'm guessing there was some little prospect up here, some little mine outpost. And there's probably a few dudes. Maybe just one, maybe one or two. There's definitely some dudes living up here. I mean, I suppose I shouldn't assume it was men. It could have been lady miners, but let's be real. It was almost certainly men. Okay, let's go inside and see what we can see. Inside this creepy old cabin. Okay, well, the first thing we see here is one of those notices from the Park Service. Hantavirus may be present. Enter at your own risk. Hantavirus is a really serious flu, I guess, kind of like a flu you can get from breathing in mouse poo. And looks like there's probably going to be quite a bit of mouse poo in here. So everybody just hold your breath. And people used to yell at me to wear masks when I went in places like this. But then with everything that happened with masks in the past 5 years, you don't really hear that anymore. Okay, so I'm stepping into this cabin. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out. It was one big room. Looks like there's a little cabinet over there and a few odds and ends. We'll check those out. But this was the main room where the dudes hung out, counted their ore, and yeah, there is a lot of mouse poo on the floor. So like I said, hold your breath, but look at the linoleum. It always cracks me up how these rough and tumble man camps had these really feminine touches. You know, maybe there was a lady up here. I mean, it probably wasn't a lady miner, but maybe one of the miners dragged his poor girlfriend or wife up here. It's hard to say, but looks like there's 2 doors going off the back. Let's see what's back behind door number 1. Looks like just some kind of little add-on. I guess this could have been a bedroom. There's really nothing left in here to tell us anymore. But dang, talk about no insulation. I mean, the wind would have howled right through these cracks. And we're at over 7,000 feet. It couldn't have been very cozy up in here. Golly, no wonder these guys abandoned the place. Oh, look. I just noticed a little piece of newspaper. Maybe this will give us a clue as to when this place was abandoned. It says Tuesday, April 23rd, 1968. The Los Angeles Herald Examiner. Wow, April of 1968. Imagine. Well, a lot of you were probably around back in April of 68. What were you doing? April of 68, that was before the 60s ended, as they say, before the Manson murders. Matter of fact, in April of 68, let's see, the Manson family, well, they were probably hanging out not too far from here, is all I'm going to say about where I am. But they hadn't killed anybody yet. What is this? Oh, Susie Top's party list. Oh, it's like a gossip column, I guess. Woo-wee. Oh my god, I love how they used to have the gossip column. Nowadays, the whole dang thing is gossip. Guess who's coming to dinner? Mrs. Vincent Astor, civic-minded and philanthropic widow of the multimillionaire, is giving a dinner in her magnificent Park Avenue apartment for 8 Negro couples and 8 white couples. It is Brooks Astor's feeling that racism should be stamped out on all levels, and this is one of the ways she can fight it. The Negro couples include several college presidents and their wives, but no entertainers, as Mrs. Astor thinks entertainers are already in. Oh my god! Okay, I guess she wasn't too good for all entertainers, though, because it says the next night they're having some champagne party with performance by Ella Fitzgerald. Man, you know you're reading a newspaper from 1968 when they talk about Negro couples, okay? Or QT. You guys remember what QT was? Something that you would use for tanning. QT tans you in 3 to 5 hours without the sun. And then there's some 60s babes, but the rest of it's missing. What was QT? Something that made your skin darker without the sun. So basically like blackface, I guess. I mean, back then they just didn't care, as evidenced by the language in this gossip column. Oh, look at that, the Hollywood Antique Show. Oh, I gotta stop looking at this. I'll be in here all dang day. Okay, but 1968, that tells me that this place was occupied until at least 68, and probably not that long thereafter. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if these guys bailed once the Manson murders happened, and they probably knew about those hippies living a couple mountain ranges over and said, let's get out of here. Okay, let's look in door number 2. Zoom out. Oh man, look at that. It's a bathroom and it's super gnarly, but well, you know, they did have a toilet. There's a lot of newspapers in here, so they had something to read while they were sitting there. Even a little bookshelf next to the toilet. And there's even, oh god, I hate to do this, but I gotta step in here to show you. Ugh. And yes, I know I shouldn't be wearing flip-flops in this potentially rattlesnake-infested den. I mean, here I am worried about getting a flat tire, and I'm walking around like an idiot in a hantavirus-infested cabin with no mask and flip-flops. But hey, what can I say? Let he who is without sin cast the first stone. Anyway, here's the vanity. Look, I love this. There's even still a little mirror hanging up where the guys shaved their whiskers. Hi. Oh, look at this. Do not put cigarettes in toilet. It will cause a fire. Dang, I wonder why putting a cigarette in the toilet would cause a fire. I mean, you'd think the water would put it out, but then again, I don't know what kind of weird toilet setup they had here. I mean, it's probably not even a septic tank or anything. Maybe it just drains straight down onto the ground, and so if you threw a cigarette down there, it would just catch some of the pine needles on fire. I don't know. All I know is I gotta get out of this creepy little bathroom. This is not the place I envisioned myself dying. All right, back into that first main room we came into, and well, unfortunately, some of the ceiling panels are falling in, but the roof is still totally intact. Look at that. Oh, and there was like a little attic crawl space on this side. I'll just hold my phone up. Can you guys see anything in there? No? No dead bodies? Oh, I can't see, so I'll have to take your word for it. Anyway, like I was saying, the ceiling's coming down, but there is a cupboard underneath. Oh, it looks like at one time it was probably stocked with all kind of cans of beans and hash, whatever they ate. Oh, look, they even have a chart posted showing how hot you want to heat the oven to cook all these different kinds of foods. You know, like they used to do back in the day, like meatloaf, macaroni and cheese, all those hearty miners' meals. What's this? For further information about the new health insurance plans and the 1963 amendments. Golly, 1963. I didn't even know there was health insurance back then. I guess that scam has been around longer than I thought. Okay, so 63, that kind of tracks with the newspaper we were looking at earlier. Here's some more. Here's the comics. Oh, Mary Worth. Remember Mary Worth? Oh my god. I never read Mary Worth, but I'm a big fan of this style of cartoon art. I mean, it's so evocative. Like, what's going on in Mary Worth's mind? And look down below it. Apartment 3G by Alex Kotsky. Ooh, I bet that was some hot stuff. Let's see what's on the back page. Oh, the Flintstones. Yeah, I've heard of them. Oh, here's the date. Let's see. 1968. Yeah, April 1968. It's the same paper as the one in the other room. Oh, look down here. Oh my god, what does this say? It's a Nabisco ad. It says, Sugar Daddy, Sugar Mama, sugar something. Win a free trip in Walt Disney's Blackbeard's Ghost or something? Yeah, Peter Ustinov in Blackbeard's Ghost. Oh my God, remember that? You guys ever see that movie? I had the misfortune of seeing it when I was a kid. I don't remember too much about it. It must have not been that good. Anyway, all right, I can't look at these newspapers all day. There's all kinds of stuff going on here. Like this, there's a super duper heavy weight with a hole in it. Oh, it's like it was like on the end of a plumb bob or something. So maybe they dropped that down the mine shaft for some purpose. Dang, it's super heavy. It's super filthy. Ugh. But I wanted to look, I know I said I was going to quit looking at the paper, but look how cheap food used to be. Carrots, 10 cents. Apples, 10 cents a pound. Lettuce, 19 cents a head. Potatoes, 20 pounds for 89 cents. Oh my God, those were the days. Oh, the Manners Market Boy. This one here is the Inyo Register. Wow. Inyo Register, I think that's out of Bishop. I guess we're not, yeah, look, there's an ad here for someplace in Bishop that was having Valentine's specials on Flirt Nylon Hosiery. Ooh, yeah, there's a sexy Valentine's gift. 39 cents, what a deal, too. Oh, look, Shell Oil Jobbers. I guess they were hiring guys to work for the Milovich Brothers Incorporated Shell Oil Company. Oh, look in the back. The back page is this awesome ad for a old school VW Beetle. Oh my God, that's when the VW Beetle was a sexy new car. Sometimes we get the feeling we're being followed. Wow, that is so cool. Okay, I'm just going to say one more thing about this paper and then I'm going to put it down. But have you ever looked at the hood of one of these old VW Beetles? Well, I happen to have a friend back in the day who said he loved the way the hood of a Beetle was shaped. You know, it's kind of got those two, well, looks like a W or like, well, this friend of mine was kind of a perv, so I'll let you figure out what he thought it looked like. I'll just say 2 words, 2 clues for you, 2 hints. Camel toe. Oh, wow. I don't know about you, but I think that newspaper alone, and in particular that gossip column alone, made all of that rocky road 100% worth it. But guess what? This isn't it. Remember I said there was 2 structures I had pinned? This was just number 1. Supposedly there's another one a little bit farther down the road. Okay, wow! This place looks even cooler than the other place. I mean, we're coming up at it from behind. So yeah, sure, it's just a hodgepodge little cabin built of random pieces of wood cobbled together with an amazing stone fireplace, but it's right on the edge of this ridge. So I have a feeling there's going to be an amazing view. See what I mean? How it's kind of up on the edge there. Look at the old wash tub. Look, there's actually windows in both of them. There's panes. So that makes me think this place might actually turn out to be kind of nice inside. Oh my gosh, wow, yeah, there's a porch overlooking the amazing view. Oh my God, that view goes for miles. Let's go up on the porch and check out the view. Wow. Oh, hold on, there's stairs. Silly me, I was going to climb up a bunch of rocks, but just be civilized. They even had AstroTurf on them at one time. Okay, here we are. We're on the porch of this cabin overlooking this spectacular view of, well, what's essentially the void. You know, that black hole you look inside every night as you're just falling to sleep, and where you keep all your deepest, darkest secrets and all your worst sins exist. That void. Or maybe just the void of nihilism in general and the utter meaninglessness of life. Boy, it sure is pretty though. And I'd tell you what we're looking at, except for 2 things. One, I'd probably get my balls cut off if I even mentioned where I was. And 2, I don't know what we're looking at. I mean, I think that might be part of Death Valley, but I'm not even sure, to be honest. It could just be Forest Service, wilderness. I mean, one thing I can say for sure, there is no development anywhere as far as we can see. Anywhere out here. There are no towns, there's no cities, there's not even one crazy guy living. This is all complete desolation, which is why I love it so much. And which is also why I'm so worried about blowing out a tire or having something break in my car. Okay, anyway, interestingly, there doesn't appear to be any door on this side of the cabin. You'd think there'd be a front door so you could go out on the porch, but all there is this really big picture window. Oh, it's hinged. So we could peek in, but I feel like it'll be more fun to go around back. There was a door on the back, and I see here, there's one of those things to hang an American flag, so I wonder if this place is actually fixed up inside so you could stay in it. Like one of them, their volunteer cabins where you put the flag up to let anybody stupid enough to come up here know that the cabin's already taken. Golly, I can't imagine anybody coming all the way up here and then having to turn around because somebody's already in the cabin. Yeah, okay, look, there's a door there and it doesn't look locked, so we'll go in there in a sec, but look over here. There's an old barbecue, a real old-timey barbecue grill. So yeah, if you did stay up here, you could roast your wieners outdoors under the stars. Oh man, the stars are gonna be out of control tonight. Way up here, like I said, no development anywhere around. Oh, talk about dark skies. Okay, well, enough beating around the bush. Let's go inside this little cabin. Okay, there's a very rough stone staircase, and there's a simple latch keeping the door shut. I wonder how long since anyone's been in here. Oh my gosh, look at that. Okay, well, first of all, hantavirus advisory again, so hold your breath. But look, I'm going to zoom out. This is a very well cared for volunteer cabin. There's even a mat to wipe your feet. Better wipe my feet off. Get all that hantavirus off. You know, I don't want to be a bad guest. Anyway, would you look at how cozy this little cabin is? Look at this. That's that stone fireplace we saw outside. You could have an amazing fire in there. On a winter's night, stay nice and toasty. Oh, you don't really need it on a day like today. It's very hot in here, and I'm guessing that's why these windows are hinged, so you can open it, and there's like hooks to hook them open, and so you could sit in here and look out the window at that amazing view, but I don't know, man. I'd be sitting out on that deck drinking beers or ranch waters all dang night. That is, if it wasn't freezing cold. If you were here in the winter, yeah, you'd want to have a roaring fire stoked. And then you could sit at this little table. In fact, there's another little wood-burning stove in the corner, I guess, if you really wanted to heat the place up. But yeah, you could sit at this little card table, just big enough for two. Looks like they've got a couple board games laid in. Look at that. You could play Yahtzee or Trivial Pursuit, the 1980s. Oh my gosh, look, there's all kinds of stuff laid in here. There's some pencils, a bunch of Christmas ornaments, great short stories of the world. Oh, a book. That's cool. What's this? The Unvanquished by William Faulkner. Oh, literary folk come out here. How about that? Faulkner. Dr. Wildlife, The Crusade of a Northwoods Veterinarian. Oh, this guy looks cool. Wow, I gotta stop and take a minute to thank my Massachusetts, my masshole point person for pointing this place out to me. Thank you. It's awesome. Okay, so there is a notebook here. Well sealed up in Ziploc bags, so looks like people sign their names, and I'll check that out in a minute. But first, I want to see what's in the medicine chest. Oh my gosh, look! There's even a little bit of shampoo, some playing cards. What's this? Oh, DEET, toilet paper, rubber gloves. Just, you know, a few little supplies you might need. There's a candle. There's a couple camp chairs laid in. What's down there? Kitty litter. Oh, I guess there must be an outhouse or something. Wow, fireplace tools, a broom so you could sweep up all the hantavirus. What's over here? Oh, here's a 2019 Desert Smart Calendar. So somebody was up here at least as recently as 2019. I'm going to guess that notebook has entries even more recent than that. Here's some tubs full of supplies, I guess. Like, oh, an extra pair of flip-flops, an extra pair of, moccasin-style slippers. Oh, here's a bunch of N95 masks. Like I was saying earlier, you know, if you were smart, you'd wear one of those, especially if you were trying to sweep this place out so you wouldn't get hantavirus. But we've all been so traumatized by masks in general and N95s in particular that the last thing I want to do is put one of those guys on. Not that I'm an anti-masker. I'm just saying I didn't really like having to wear a mask, but I did, you know, I did my part. I don't know, just random supplies. Oh, look, here's a bed. There's a mattress on a little frame, so if we did have to spend the night in here, we could do so in, well, relative comfort. You know, mattress doesn't even look that old. Okay, and then over on this side, I guess this is sort of like the kitchen area. There's a real old cooler. Let's see if there might be food in the cooler because there's a brick on top holding the lid down. Let's open it up. Oh yeah, look at that. There's some really nice china plates. There's a jar of jam, grape jam, some peanut butter, some coffee. Oh, just a few supplies, you know, if you were, say my car did break down and I had to stay up here, I could survive off this chicken soup. Just this jar of peanut butter, I could probably get by on that for like a month. That's a lot of calories. More soup. Super cool. I love this little place. I mean, yeah, the cabin itself isn't all that much to look at, but that view. Okay, anyway, then there's just the usual stuff. Some extra propane, matches, barbecue grill cleaner, bleach, a toolbox, some empty coffee cans. Oh, look, fancy goblets if you wanted to sit out on the front deck and have a glass of champagne. How about that? Glass goblets way up here. How about that? You know, it goes back to what I was saying about these little fancy touches of femininity at these rough and tumble miners' cabins. You know, kind of like this really fancy china. Or look at this. Here's a little painted rock somebody left here. How cute is that? That's not something you see at, you know, super manly places. I love that. That's so cute. And there's some pots and pans, you know, if you had to cook. Oh, wow, look at this real old can of Diet Harvest Day sugar-free lemon lime soda. Oh my God. And then look at this. Look at this real old U-Ban coffee can with this beautiful 60s lady on it. Now that's when women were women. Oh, there's one on this one too. Oh, it's the same lady. Oh, how about MJB? No, they didn't have a coffee babe. Too bad for them. Okay, I was just looking through these notebooks, and apparently quite a few people come up here. These books are only from, I think the earliest entry I saw was from like 2018, and somebody came up here and actually replaced the books. So I kind of flipped through and looked at some of the, you know, just the usual things, like walking along, found the cabin, drove up from here, drove up from there, I'm with so-and-so, I drove this, I drove that. God, I wish I could say where I was because there's some very interesting comments in here, but the one I thought was really cool was this guy. This was back in September of 21. To the Forest Service and National Park Service for closing our public lands for COVID and fires. You will never be safe. Golly, I mean, if I didn't know better, I'd say that was a threat, but I guess what he means is, you know, you can close public lands out of fear of a pandemic, and you can close public lands out of fear of fires, but you'll never really be safe, so you might as well just embrace the uncertainty. And I guess that's part of why I came up here. Yeah, sure, you know, I'm by myself, and it's very remote, and there's no cell signal, and I could blow a tire, blah, blah, blah. But golly, I mean, I could die just walking across the street in Vegas, you know? I might as well take a few chances in life, otherwise I'd never be able to see cool stuff like this. Oh, I just noticed under this coffee bag, somebody plugged a hole in the wall with a heart-shaped piece of wood. Aww. Who said guys don't have feelings? I love this. Okay, well, I already went ahead and wrote my name in the book. Oh, actually, when I say name, I didn't actually write my name because I was afraid somebody would just say something nasty to me. I just wrote that I saw this on Google Satellite View, had to come check it out, wasn't expecting more than an old shack. What an amazing surprise. Loved the view, the fireplace, the desolation. Random, solo, female, freak. That's me. Okay, I'll seal these notebooks up nice and tight, just the way I found them. And I'll shut the door to this cabin nice and tight, just the way I found it. And I guess I'm gonna go back around to the deck one more time for one last view off that amazing porch. I mean, it's not every day you get to see a view like this. Oh my golly. Can you imagine? I mean, how many miles do you think that is that we can see? Like that mountain range way in the distance. How far away is that? And then there's ranges even beyond that. Golly. And it's very pleasant up here. It's even feeling a little breezy, chilly even in the shade. This would be a really cool place to spend the night. And I actually did consider camping up here. I mean, I could. Well, there's a flat spot in front of the cabin. I could park my rig right there, but then you never know. Some guy might come along first thing in the morning, and I like to have my alone time, my privacy, first thing in the morning. So I think I'm going to drive back down the hill, Maybe to that first camp, or there was like a meadow I passed through between the camps. But I sure hope you enjoyed exploring these two structures with me. Oh my God, I came up here not expecting a gold-darned thing. I'm not kidding. I thought it was gonna be two crummy old shacks, basically. And how lucky were we that even though it did turn out to be two crummy old shacks, they were absolutely fascinating.